How's my hair? We good? I think we're good. Hey, there we go. We're live. What's going on, guys? Thanks so much for swinging by. It's Monday night, as always. We've got a live show. I was hoping to have my favorite murder ball expert, but unfortunately, she was going to be driving, and I didn't want to do a live chat at the same time that she was driving. She said she was up for it, but I was like, you know what? You be safe, you drive and get home. And graciously, my guest tonight was able to step up and step in. The doctor is in. We're going to get into that here in just a second. But before we get into that, as always, you guys know, I need to do a little shameless plug from here from time to time and let you guys know, remind you all that fitandfire.com is up and running. If you guys are interested in checking out all the different things that I've got going on with the channel, please swing by Fit and Fire. I'm going to be doing some changes and kind of segregating a couple different products so you guys have the ability to search and find things a little bit easier. I know my website is kind of, simple, which is fine, but that's a great way to support the channel. I'm going to be saving you guys some money and hopefully, supporting the channel at the same time by saving you guys money. With that being said, I have started posting a daily deal on Facebook. So if you guys are interested in following me on Facebook, I will post a daily deal. Naturally, all of this stuff is going to be affiliate links. So if you guys are interested in that, you can pick up whatever I'm showing you. And that's a good way, again, to support the channel. And if you'd like to do other things, you can contribute to the PayPal or be a Patreon. You guys know the stuff. So, but with that being said, I have something pretty cool that we're going to do tonight. I have a guest that shares a lot of the same favorites, I guess. And we're going to quiz you guys tonight on some trivia, and whoever gets it right is going to get a free Olight. I've got the i3T EOS. This is their desert tan one. I never opened it. They sent it to me, and I'm just like, hey, thanks. I'll give it away. So we're going to give it away tonight. Stay tuned, and you guys will see how you're going to get that, and we'll go from there. So with that being said, the guest tonight, I'm just going to jump right on into it. The guest tonight, he is a new acquaintance to me. I've been following him for about a month now, I think, and I have really enjoyed everything that he's been doing with his social media stuff. He's primarily been on Instagram doing his thing. He's got about 10,000 followers on Instagram. He does some really cool stuff. He has a really cool vibe with him. It does kind of a tactical Old West thing, and I like it. It's like Good, Bad, and the Ugly meets 2019, and I think it's pretty cool, right? And then him and his buddy just started a YouTube channel, so naturally I wanted to support them with their upstart of their channel to see about getting you guys over there and supporting that. Naturally, links are down in the description below if you guys want to find them. With that being said, we're going to say hi to Doc Hollywood. There he is, up and gunning.
Hey,
there he goes. What's going on, Doc? How's everything going tonight?
Good, man. Going great.
Right on, right out. Now, you got a little bit of a draw. You out east, down south, right?
Yeah, so I'm in Atlanta, northwest of Atlanta.
Okay.
But Atlanta because that's a terminus. So in Georgia, that's where everything runs and goes through. So just best to say Atlanta.
Right on. Terminus. Little fun fact, that was about a 3-episode part of Walking Dead.
Yeah, so the movie industry is actually very huge here in Georgia, and Walking Dead is all filmed here. Stranger Things, which I have worked on the set of Stranger Things and MacGyver, not directly linked to it, but just worked on the set. I've seen the actors floating around, and Georgia's popping right now, dude, especially in the movie industry. So
right on. So before we go any further, Guys, I'm sorry. I got so excited about bringing Doc on that I forgot to go through and say hi to everybody in the chat room. So I'm just going to scroll back through and say hi to everybody. So please excuse me for just a second. First and foremost, jumping in there, numero uno, and he says, "I'm here for the stash." Tundra Tactical jumped in there.
Yeah.
So we got Tactical Pineapples in there. Mandatory Carry dropping the 5 bones right off the bat with the super chat. Thank you so much. He says, "Won't be able to make it, but keep up fighting. P.S. Would you interview someone outside 2A?" Absolutely. I'll interview anybody outside the 2A. Give me some suggestions if you guys have some, and we'll figure that out. No one to talk to jumping in here. The troll has come. Doc Hollywood, I see ya. Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
So
he gave me forewarning on that. So I'm ready.
Tactical Pineapple again jumping in there. Trolling yet again. Yeet all the Taurus firearms. Fuds G2C, G2C, G2C. Thank you for that. Scott jumping in. Andrew Lovelace, he's jumping in there saying first. He wasn't first, but we'll call him first because he's first in my heart. Love you, Drew. Black Diamond Guns and Gear saying, "Yo, what's up with you?" The Grim Reaper, hey, what's up, sir? Rabbi Jesus is in there jumping too. Art, always good to see you, man. Thanks for jumping in, Art. Dan Booker, good to see you, sir. Todd Schmidt, hey, you doing homework tonight, Todd? P.S. I need you to hit me up because I need to do a really cool collab I just thought of overnight. I'm going to need your help. Kayla, hey, what's going on? Good to see you. Daniel Shepherd, Danger Noodle, always good to see you. Let's see, who else? Archangel, what's going on? What's up, brother? And Off the X is in there. Blitz, good to see you. And that about covers it. Yeah. Text me tomorrow, Todd. Okay. Oh, the Mad Valley. Good to see you. If I missed you guys, I'm sorry. As always, if you guys have any questions for myself or for Doc, make sure you drop in the @fit_N_fire. That kind of highlights things to let me know that you are in there. And I got you, Blitz. I see what you said. We're going to get to that here in just a second. Okay. So Doc, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us about your background, some of the things that you've gotten into, some of the things that you're passionate about now, and we'll go from there.
Okay. My handle on Instagram is Doc Hollywood _actual. My real name's Dave. That's what most people call me, is Dave. Unless I'm in trouble, and then it's David. I was born in Jacksonville. Go Jags, Jag Nation. But I've lived here in Georgia since I was 8. So for a very, not long time, but for me, a very long time, basically raised here in Atlanta, Georgia. Always wanted to get into the military and serve my country. So I joined the Army, 5 years in the infantry, deployed, got the T-shirt, got out. You know, you either stay in or you get out pretty much at that point. And I got out. I did not, I've always owned guns, but I never did the tactical shooting, did the self-defense stuff, just kind of went into the backyard, shot clay pigeons, which is fun. Don't get me wrong. And I still do that, but never got into the the philosophy behind self-defense and tactical training. On deployment, I was lucky enough to get attached to an ODA, Special Forces Detachment, and they taught me a lot of stuff, and it was really cool and really fun. And so when I got back home, I went out and bought an AR, bought a Glock, and started doing it on my own, and then was like, I'm pretty good at this, even though I've always just pretty much run revolvers and shotguns and all that. So I did. I was instructing for about a year, but I have since I've stopped that to pursue other ventures because I want to. I want to be a better student of the craft. So in order for me to instruct and to basically produce a better product, I need more training myself. So I have stopped instructing, and I want to go ahead and learn how to become a better shooter and get into the gun community more. So and that's pretty much where I'm at right now.
So what you're saying is you're not a doctor.
Well, if you go back to like the 1850s, yeah, dude, like I'm a professional doctor. Like I'll give you some snake oil and some whiskey, and dude, you're cured. You're
Done.
good.
It's done. Yep, we're done.
But no. So I'm not a doctor. I get a lot. So in the military and in the army, your medic, your first line medic, the medic on your team, you call him Doc.
Yeah.
My medic, Doc Andrews, Matthew Andrews. I try to keep up with him as much as possible. But I love that dude. I called him Doc. But no, I'm not a doctor. It's just my my handle.
Right on.
So.
That's awesome, because you end up having a bit of a Western feel with what you do on Instagram. Not all the time, but I mean, you kind of bounce around. But one of the first things that I saw, I think, was you had a sweet tea monster, and you pulled your 6-shooter and shot it from the hip. And that was like the coolest video. I was like, "Oh my god, he did it!"
so it was a Bang Energy.
Oh, it was Bang. Yeah, okay.
So I live in Georgia, right? And I drink the Bangster Berry. I like that one, and there's some other flavors I like. But I've never seen a sweet Georgia peach, and I live in Georgia. So I go all the way across the United States to Alaska, and lo and behold, there's a sweet Georgia peach Bang. I was like, what the heck, dude? So I was like, all right, well, I'm going to grab this and have some fun with it. So yeah, I take it and I hit fire with my revolvers, and you know, I hit the can. I've been shooting revolvers for a long time. That's actually the first gun that I purchased, was a revolver. So always been into it. Grew up on Clint Eastwood, John Wayne, the classics, spaghetti westerns, all that, dude. Love it all to this day. If Tombstone or Outlaw Josie Wells come on, it does not matter like what I'm doing. It stays on. It's background music, or I watch it, you know, whatever. And so I just, you know, now my Instagram is kind of an outlet for that. So
yeah, and I think it's actually pretty cool, because your battle belt has kind of like a bandolier of 9mm rounds, right?
Yeah, that was a that's so it is functional.
Yeah, of course.
It really
yeah.
is functional. Like, I don't know, dude. End of the world, zombies are taking over us. I'm out of ammunition. I can I gotta pull out, you know, old school one at a time from my battle belt, whatever. But it's more or less an ode to the past, the old West gunslingers, and it's, you know, it's more optics, it's more of a look.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I keep it on my battle belt, dude.
it works, man. It's pretty freaking cool. At first, I saw that and I'm just like, what's that about? And then I started looking through your feed, and I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So let me hit up the let me hit up the chat room here real quick and see what we've got going on. Let's see. Question: do you know if there are any rifles that have a revolver action? As current models, no. I think they may. You might be able to field this question better than I can, but I know that there historically have been revolver type rifles.
Yeah. So back in, I don't know, man, like the 1850s or 60s. I don't quote me on it. I don't think it might have been Colt. It might have been another company, maybe Browning or something. But they had a revolver rifle, and it had a rotating cylinder, and they used it in the war.
It was a 4570.
Yeah, maybe 45 Colt, 45-70. Probably a 45-70 because that was the government round.
Yeah.
So you're probably right on that one. But yeah, nothing modern. It'd be cool. It'd be really cool if there was a company out there that would produce a model. I mean, I'd buy it.
So Art jumps in here. That's actually a pretty good question. Have you ever done any type of like cowboy shooting competitions?
Okay, so no, I haven't done cowboy shooting. I would like to. I'd like to get into it. So as probably most of our listeners know, time, time
Mm.
is like the most important thing of all. And man, if I could get time, I would do it in a heartbeat. It's just hard to find time to do that. I would love to do it. I want to do it. I've talked to people in the local area who have the uh, 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 the cowboy action shooting,
Yeah.
and I have their contact, and I do want to do that. It's just time getting there to do it. That's all.
So
So
Art's specific question to it, and I don't know how to answer it because I've seen a little bit, but he's wanting to know: do you think that it's overrated or underrepresented?
you know, I'm a bit of a homer here because, like I said, I grew up on it. But the revolver, when it was introduced and when it came about, the invention of it is, in my opinion, ingenious. Because even now to this day, what do a lot of people carry? You know, against, you know, I wouldn't advise it, but a lot of people carry in their pockets. They carry a little Smith and Wesson 38 special revolver. You know why? Because you pull the trigger. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Vanessa Williams.
Action Jackson? No,
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 no, no. Wrong,
no.
wrong movie.
He's like a U.S. Marshal. Eraser.
Eraser. Yeah.
And so he pulls out a little snub nose 38 and he goes, all you got to do is pull the trigger. And he hands it to Vanessa Williams. And so that's the beauty of revolvers. They don't jam. They have misfires. If they jam, there's like something major. So that's a huge problem. But they don't jam. And so I think, honestly, dude, I think if you can be proficient with a revolver, you could it could be your EDC carry. You could carry
Yeah.
it every day.
I know that Lucky Ammo. Is it Lucky Ammo? Yeah, Lucky Ammo. Their YouTube channel, Lucky Gunner. That's what it is. It's their YouTube channel, and they do Lucky Ammo. It's their website. They did a series on, using revolvers as concealed carry firearms, and it was pretty interesting. It was good to see.
I mean, I run them a lot. So me personally, if I could carry one on my hip, like, hey, yeah, it's a legit. I'm good with it. I'm comfortable with it. The downside to revolvers, which everybody already knows, is you have 6 shots.
Yeah.
Whereas then if I carry a Glock and you can put, all the mag extensions on, like you can get up, I think you can get up to like 21 shots or something like that.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's the catch right there. But on the flip side of that, if you need 21 shots to hit your target, maybe you should go to the range a little bit more. So
or you're in a situation you don't need to be in.
Yeah. So like I said, it's there's give and take. I don't carry a revolver as my ADC. I do carry a striker fire. When I get 50 or 60 years old and I don't care anymore, I'm probably going to carry a revolver around, dude.
Yeah.
So,
let's see. Oh, Scott, he jumped in here real quick and he said, okay, here's a question for him. Tombstone or Wyatt Earp?
I mean, Wyatt Earp is Tombstone. I don't understand.
I'm sorry. The movie. Which movie do you prefer? Tombstone with
Tombstone.
yeah.
Tombstone is embellished, okay? But Kurt Russell and Val Kilmer and Michael Biehn, dude, like I said, when Tombstone comes on, there, like, I watch it. It stays on as its background noise, or if I have it at the time, I will sit down and I'll lay back, and it's just, it doesn't get much better than Tombstone. So
yeah. I mean, Wyatt Earp was a little bit more historically accurate, I think, even though it is historically accurate as Hollywood can make it, because they just can't get out of their own ego, you know. But you know, Kevin Costner, man, sometimes it's a hit or miss, you know.
So Kevin Costner in the movie Open Range was amazing.
That was
Robert
great.
Duvall.
Yes,
great movie. If you guys have not seen Open Range, go watch it. Like, you won't be disappointed. But Kurt Russell is way better Wyatt Earp than Kevin Costner, and so it's Tombstone. The movie is not 100% accurate historically, but it's basically what everyone holds the standard as far as Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday and Johnny Ringo and all that. So you can't get around it. You have to just accept it. It's and those guys, to their credit, they did such a great job acting in that movie that they kind of took the role away from the actual historical real life people who did play those. So you got to give them credit for that.
Yeah. I just got to jump in here. Freaking Drew jumping in there. Val Kilmer's best role was on Psych. Changed my mind.
Hey, I'm a huge Val Kilmer fan. You know, the movie Saint, Heat.
Oh yeah,
dude, you guys can't get away from Heat, dude. Like, every now and then on Instagram, I'll post, like, in my stories, I'll post that picture of Val Kilmer just blasting away with that old school AR with the carry handle, and I'm like, mood. Actually, I think the Marines, no joke, I think the Marines, as far as it's not called retreat. What's the word for it when you tactically remove yourself from
exfil?
Yeah, so the Marine, I can't remember the word that they use for it, but they actually will show the movie Heat when Val Kilmer and Robert De Niro are giving each other cover fire, and they keep tactically retreating back. They're like, this is how you do that. That's exactly how you do it. Now, obviously, they had Hollywood reloads, so they had infinite amount of ammo. But that's how you do it. You know, they did like it's a somewhat a form of the Aussie peel. So
right, yeah,
that's a great movie too. So don't knock Val Kilmer too much.
No. I love Val Kilmer. I watched Saint probably about a month ago because I was fishing through my Amazon Prime feed, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll watch this. So, all right, well, let's go into our speed round. We haven't done a speed round in like forever, so I'm going to go launch it off with you. And I can see, I think most people can already see what the answer is going to be. But here we go. 3 questions, real quick. Favorite Star Wars character?
Boba Fett.
Yeah, of course. There, everybody can see it. Favorite rifle?
That one's hard. I like my Kel-Tec RDB because of the innovation that Kel-Tec brings to the bullpup platform. But at the same time, I'm torn. I have a Marlin 35 Remington. The Marlin model, believe the number is 336. And that was my first rifle I purchased when I was of age. And I shot my first deer with it, and my first kill as a hunter. So, but the Kel-Tec RDB, right? It's a lot of fun to shoot. The platform is really cool. It just needs a little bit more from Kel-Tec, dude, and it's like right there. So
Right on. Okay. So last question. Favorite pistol?
I would say my Cattleman here. Okay,
Nice.
y'all can't see it, but it's clear. But it's fun to shoot, quick on the draw, very accurate. It's 357, 4.25-inch barrel, gunfighter barrel. Well, the gunfighter barrel is 3.5, but I consider this gunfighter because it's a little bit shorter. But my favorite all-time pistol is the Lamont revolver. Lamont. And so
right top, right?
So that's the Schofield is the top break.
Okay.
But so the Lamont is it was black powder, but they do 45 Colt conversions. And what's cool is it's called the grape shot pistol or revolver because in the very center of the rotating cylinder there is a 20 gauge tube where you can put a 20 gauge round.
I'm looking at it. Yeah, that's pretty freaking cool.
Dude, it's awesome. If you've seen the show Westworld, Ed Harris has the modern. Yes, it's gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's one of my lifelong dreams and goals is to be able to purchase one, do the modern conversion where I can shoot 45 Colt and the 20 gauge center tube is still functional. And like I said, if you watch the show Westworld, Ed Harris is rocking the Lamont revolvers.
Right on.
It obviously has the modern conversion to those. But dude, it's a that's my all-time favorite pistol.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. That's pretty cool. Okay, so here is the giveaway part for the people in the chat rooms. All right. So the first person who is able to email me, right? And I'm going to put my email address in here real quick. Let me see if I can even spell it correctly. That's the biggest thing. Doc and I, we talked about this earlier, maybe yesterday or earlier today. Our conversations blend together these days. But question to you guys in honor of Doc's favorite character from Star Wars. Question is, how many lines does Boba Fett have in the series, in the original series, right? The first person to email me, I got my email address in there. The first person to email me will win the i3T EOS. I will contact you through email. We'll get your address and I'll send it off tomorrow whenever I get a break from work or whatever. So Rabbi Jesus, no, it's not. You're not correct. So you have to email me. All right, the answer. And Shark Chucker, it's not 0 either. So it's not 0. It's not 1. So there's 2 answers right out of the way.
Come on, you know it's not 0, dude. For real. Come on, that's almost like goes beyond pop culture. Hey, real. All right, y'all be a little bit 1342. Hey, for Scott P79. I want an AR and 35 Remington. Dude, that would be badass, not gonna lie. I just thought I was like, yeah, that'd be cool.
I don't even think I've ever shot a 35 Remington.
It's got some kick. So I had a 30-30. So I had a 30-06. That was sitting in my bedroom since I was like 10. Which where I grew up at and everything, that's not weird. I know a lot of people are like, oh my God. But and then I went to a pawn shop and I traded it for a Winchester 30-30. And then I went to another pawn shop and I traded that 30-30 for the Marlin 336 35 Remington. And it's the one rifle in my safe that is not for sale. I'll never sell it. I'll give it to my kids. I'll keep it. It's not. I mean, if you offered me $10 million, I'd sell it to you. But if you offered me $1 million, if you offered me $500,000, I'd sell it to you. But but nobody's gonna do that. So it's like I said, it's the one rifle in my safe that's not for sale. So
right. Let's see. I'm sifting through some emails here. I'm looking at these to make sure that we have the correct answer. And I'm just double checking here because I've got several emails already. And so one second here. We're not counting that. Alrighty. All right. We're going to get back to that here in just a second. But so we're going to get into your YouTube channel. You just launched your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
You've been going for what, like 2 weeks? Is that about right?
Yeah, about 2 weeks. So we launched our YouTube channel called Show and Tuck. It is with my a good friend of mine. His Instagram handle is Coach Tuck _22. He's a really good guy. I've known him for a while. He's the guy's hilarious.
Yeah, he's
real smart, real witty. He is in the AK community, and he's in. I don't want to say the word involved because it doesn't. It sounds kind of like not necessarily fake, but he is like delved into the AK world, and he loves AKs. And the AK community, as you know, there's like an underground cult following, and that has started to come and present itself to like the masses, and like the AK community is blowing up right now. But he's been a part of that for a long time. He knows a lot of the guys there. Like I said, it's Coach Tuck _22. But our YouTube channel is Show and Tuck. So what we wanted to do was we both like guns, we both like shooting, and we kind of, we call each other up and talk about like guns and what we're going to do next. I'm like, well, dude, let's just start a YouTube channel and let's start talking about guns. So we're like, well, yeah, let's do that. But how do you want to do it? And I'm like, dude, let's just set it up like we're talking like on the back porch, smoking stogies and, drinking, some beers. And it's just all nice and comfortable. So that's kind of the feel that we're going to. And then also we want to have some fun with it and not take ourselves too seriously. So we've kind of like implemented some I don't know what the good word to use is. Help me out.
Sorry, I was sifting. I was reading something here. I was distracted. I'm sorry.
I was saying, what would you use to describe our YouTube? What's a good word to describe our YouTube?
It's eclectic for sure, because you got man, I'm telling you, I'm really taking off here because I've never really been in a point where I've been two things at once and I was caught off guard. So your channel is eclectic for sure, because you started off with the very first video of you running through the woods and just doing like a montage type of thing, which was pretty cool. And then you did kind of a breakdown of your belt. And that was pretty cool to understand how you do different things. One of the interesting things about your belt setup is that your pistol is always with you. It's not attached to your belt. And that was pretty interesting. I like that aspect of it. And then you did the casting couch, which I did see in the comment section that Tundra Tactical wants to see more casting couch videos.
Yeah. So all right. So hey, our guys are letting us know. So yeah. So like I said, we want to give you guys good reviews. We're going to show you guys a lot of weapon systems, but we want to have some fun with it. So so I come from the Instagram world. I'm new to YouTube. So a lot of times with like a cool, sexy picture of a gun, we call it gun porn. And so we're like, yo, let's do like a gun porn like review, casting couch. It led to this, it led to that. So we kind of did some playoff stuff, and so basically it's relax. We're professionals. We're the leading industry. Leading in the industry of gun porn. Kind of like as like just as a joke, but at the same time, we want to give good reviews, but in a more or less like I don't know, like a coffee shop feel. Like, hey, you're gonna go to the back porch of your buddy, crack open a beer, and we're gonna talk about this weapon system. And that's the feel we're going for. My partner, who is a Georgia peach, that is kind of taken off now, so he's stuck with it.
That's pretty awesome.
So that's the casting couch was definitely comfortable. Yes. So that's the kind of the vibe that we're going with it. So just a fun, comfortable feel. Oh, and I'm sitting on the casting couch.
Same couch. Is it sticky?
No. Well, yeah, it's sticky because of the because there's some leftover food on here, but
it's just the food. It's just
yeah.
All right. So before I go on to the next thing, check it out, guys. So you've already hit me up several times on the question of the night for the Olight, and I had 2 emails exactly at the same time that were the correct answer. The correct answer is 4. There were 4 lines in the original series of Star Wars, and that does not count the Christmas special, because the Christmas special was an abomination, and we want to forget that as much as possible. So
you should have them email you all the 4 lines. Whoever gets it to you first is the winner.
Oh, no, I'm not going to do that. That's actually a really great idea. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually send this one, and then I'm going to buy one for the other dude, because the emails came in exactly at the same time. So Art is first in the list of my emails, and then Dan Booker. Both of you guys will be getting picked up on a Olight. So congratulations to you guys, and I hope you are able to put it to good use. It's a good EDC light. I think it's let's see, it is 180 lumens, so not too bad for a little tiny pencil light. So I'll email you guys back and get your information. We'll get you taken care of. So congratulations to that. Let's see. Let me hit up the chat room again, because you guys are going bonkers. Flip a coin. No, Drew, I'm not going to flip a coin. Rabbi Jesus, whiskey. We drink scotch. I'm actually doing bourbon.
What are you, like Scottish or Irish or something?
I've been hitting up freaking rye scotch. I don't know what's going on with me today, but I think I'm dehydrated. I've been hitting up the rye bourbons, rye whiskeys really hard here lately, and the one that I was crushing on Tundra Tactical's live chats Saturday night was Lead Slinger rye, and that's actually, it was pretty good. It's pretty good. So I like that. No one to talk to. Rum is nasty. Rum is nasty. You have to mix that. You can't drink.
Hey, I'm half pirate, dude. So hey, check it out. So last year, me and my wife went to Bermuda, all expenses paid for, everything. And so they had the Dark and Stormy and the Rum Swizzle. And so, dude, I got like hooked on rum, and I came back talking like a pirate, dude. It was awesome.
I will say that the last time I was down at, let's see, it was an all-inclusive resort just south of Cancun in Playa del Carmen, which is now, unfortunately, controlled by the cartel. But they had oh man, what was it called? It was like I think they called it a dirty monkey. or something like that. Is
I don't
yeah.
care.
I'm pretty sure that's what it was, and it was like bananas and chocolate and rum all mixed together, and
that sounds good.
it was really good. Oh, and ice as well. So it was like kind of a frozen
Crushed
margarita
ice?
type of thing. Only,
Good.
yeah, it was actually pretty good. So, all right. So, where are you trying to go with the channel? I mean, we've kind of talked about it a little bit. I was a little distracted, so if you mentioned it, I'm sorry. But
so basically, like I said, we want to get this. We want people to see that we're just like a couple regular guys. So, we're not getting paid for any of this. Like nobody is, especially right now, nobody is sending us anything, and nobody is like, "Hey, we're sending you this. Talk good about it." Like, no, it's basically like common speak. Hey, this thing works. I like it. This part of the weapon system doesn't work. Like the company should fix this issue. Like stat.
yeah.
And so that's kind of that will be the mostly what we talk about. But we're also going to talk about other things that aren't firearms related. I have a 1982 Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme with T-tops. So it's got a real quick, it's got a 350 engine, bored over basically a 383. And so it's getting all this work done to it. I'm probably going to do a review on that. We're going to do reviews on cigars, whiskey, car shows. My buddy is into Mustangs. I have him on the channel and come in and do his spiel on Mustangs. So it's not going to be 100% firearms related. It's like I said, we're just like regular guys. Like probably going to be one episode where all we do is talk about Star Wars. Wearing my Zero Foxtrot, Boba Fett, which Fit and Fire knows. We're all about the Boba Fett.
Yeah.
So that's and I'll sit here and argue with everyone till I'm black and blue in the face about how Boba Fett's the best Star Wars character, even though he only has 4 lines. So, but it's kind of just like, hey, let's get together and see what these two yahoos are doing tonight. And like I said, it's mainly going to be gun reviews, but we will delve into other topics, and we want to have fun with it. We don't want to take ourselves too seriously. I know Fit and Fire does the same thing. You have great reviews. You really get into the meat and potatoes of stuff. I like how you do without saying, you do pros and cons. And you give the weapon system that you're reviewing, you give it a chance. And so you're like, well, this could work, but it could not work. So,
yeah.
But that's true. That's so. Like honestly, any weapon system, if you're proficient with it, it will work. I could take a high point and do a lot of damage with a high point, but a high point is big and ugly, and it's a paperweight, and it's $100. So the gun community is like,
yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So now I'm not gonna run a high point because you get what you pay for. But if I had to, if it was Fallout and I'm like welding iron and wood together, I might just pocket a high point.
Yeah, totally. So my chat room, my audience, I guess that's the word I'm looking for. My audience, they give me a hard time about the Taurus G2C because because that's like the one like negative review I've done. I've done a couple negative reviews, but realistically, I try not to do any type of negative reviews. I'd like to highlight the good and bad, because with every product in the gun community, for the most part, there's good and bad.
Well, yeah. Not every weapon system is perfect. There's going to be issues with it.
Yeah.
So
the biggest thing that I've ran into with Taurus, and I have to continue to say this because I didn't realize this and I was really upset about it, is that Taurus freaking had 2 executives that were indicted by the Brazilian government for knowingly selling 8,000 firearms to a gun runner, and I get it. Yeah. I get it. I'm not so naive to think that other companies don't do that as well, but it seems like Taurus is the one that keeps on getting caught. And, to be highlighted like that, I just assume not really support a company with questionable business ethics like that, So, and I could go into a whole rabbit hole. Someone called me out and it's like, well, if you feel that way, then SIG, they did the same thing. And I was like, yeah, no, SIG didn't do the same thing. They improperly exported weapons to the Colombian police, right? So that wasn't selling to gun runners in a civil war in Yemen. All right. So anyway, that's my little rant right there. If you own a Taurus, if you like Taurus, if you're happy with Taurus, I'm happy for you. If it works for you, run it.
Be happy with Taurus. Yeah. I mean, every couple thousand models is going to run perfectly, so you'll be all right.
Yeah, I get all these comments. They're always like, "Oh, I've got 50,000 rounds through it, not a single malfunction." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not 50, but
it's like, well, it's funny. Like totally not on purpose. It's actually hilarious. But so it's like the GHM9, right? Brugger and Thomet, GHM9, Grasshopper mouse, 9mm. Y'all need to look all that messed up. It's hilarious. But when they first came out with these, they had faulty the feed ramp, like the trays would not cycle the rounds properly. So you had to like send your weapon system back in, and they would put the new updated part in, and it worked fine and perfectly. But I mean, B&T, like the cream of the crop, the creme de la creme, dude. I've never had any issues with mine. I brag on them all day long. $2,000 sub gun. But other people have, and that's how they had faulty, the feed ramps. So,
yep.
That being said, all weapon systems, if you're not innovating and improving, there's companies should that's all I should focus on is innovating and improving.
Yep.
That's why I like Kel-Tec. Kel-Tec gets a bad rap, almost to the equivalent of Taurus, because a lot of people rag on Kel-Tec for whatever reason. I don't know why. All their parts are polymer, so what? But with that being said, Kel-Tec does need to put out more updated versions of their weapon systems, because a lot of the weapon systems do have faulty parts, or there's something going on with them. It's like, hey, well, this year, this is what we improved. And it's like with my RDB, dude. I'm telling that bullpup, that RDB, it's like this close to being like right, like up here on the top of all the bullpups, dude. It just needs that much of a push. Push them off the diving board, dude, and let them splash into the swimming pool of the gun community.
Yeah, it was interesting. One of the conversations we had on the phone, I guess it was about 2 weeks ago. We talked about the snubbery, snobbery, I guess,
Yeah.
snobbery
Yep.
of, you know, the gun world and Kel-Tec. And, you know, I'd be frankly honest with you. I've never really been, I wouldn't say necessarily a fan of Kel-Tec. I'm just like, okay, Kel-Tec, all right, whatever. I mean, I don't really, I think I've only shot like their double magazine shotgun, bullpup shotgun thing, you know? It
Yeah.
has like I don't know what they call it, the KSG. Yeah, the KSG.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. PSG. Yeah. It's actually a pretty badass shotgun.
I think I shot one at Iraq Veterans Range Day, maybe last year, a year before. I think it was 2 years ago. But that's it. That's all I've ever. Yeah, no one talked to. I got you. Yeah, thanks. Yeah. I'm just sorry. I just saw Art's comment. He says, "Can we all agree to hate Sky?" Anyway, so once I saw your videos on the Kel-Tec bullpup, I was like, "Oh, wow, oh, okay, that's pretty cool." And then to see how those rounds eject down, you know, have you ran into any issues with like any type of you know, double feeds or any type of stoppage because of that?
So I was having an issue, and what's cool about the RDB is that the gas it's adjustable on the very front end of it, and I will be doing a review of it. But what happened was I had accidentally messed with it without knowing that I had messed with it. And I was like, oh my God, dude, I bumped this. And so I turned it. And so I messed with the gas system.
Okay.
It wasn't ejecting properly and wasn't cycling properly. And so basically it was a single action rifle at that point. So bang, bang. But then I did some research and I was like, oh, so you spin it all the way, you know, to the right or left, I can't remember, and then you counterclockwise it the other way, and then boom, reset the gas system perfectly. Kel-Tec has since then they've sent me their updated gas system, their flared mag well and all that. I've been running it, runs great. No, I'm left-handed. Yeah, I know. I'm spawn of Satan, all that jazz. I can shoot right-handed. I shoot right-handed pretty well. Probably a lot better than a lot of you guys. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But what's cool about the RDB is that it is legitimately 100% ambi. And there's no other bullpup out there that can say that.
Yep.
So that is what's really cool about it. But like I said, they need a few tweaks and improvements, and it's right there, man. It's right there. So yeah, I haven't had much malfunctions. I know there's some videos out there where people are having issues. If I've had a misfire or a misfeed, I've literally like racked it back and went back to work.
Yeah.
And it spits that round straight down, and I went back to work. So
I'm definitely going to have to see what I can do to get my hands on one. Might be able to talk to somebody at Kel-Tec's booth at SHOT Show, and maybe I can get one for the channel just to review or something. That I really would like to see it. But
that'd be awesome. I'd love that, dude, and I'd love to get your take and your feedback on all that, because I want to see how you think about it. And as far as I've been shooting freaking, dude, I put my Kel-Tec through the ringer. Like anything I own, dude, I literally beat the crap out of everything I own.
Yeah. Yeah. That was one of the things that, you know, when I grew up, my time at the range was pretty sacred. When I was young, when my dad would take my brother and I to the range, it was kind of few and far between because he worked second shift. So, you know, when we went to the range, it was something that was really special to us. So we just yearned and just hyper focused on every round that we shot, because we didn't know when we were going to be able to shoot again. Oh man, what was I going to say? totally forgot where I was going to go with that. Damn it. I go into these rabbit holes and
I know.
Anyway, just
Follow the white rabbit.
I know. Thanks, Neo. What I did want to say is Blitz jumped in there. He said a ginger lefty. Oh no, Lucifer has returned. So, yeah. Thanks, Rabbi. Yeah, I'm trying to hydrate. I'm.
Hey on Rabbi Jesus. Hey, I'm not gonna lie, especially with Instagram, dude. You get all kinds of handles that like friend you and comment. It cracks me up. Like I have a dude on Instagram. His handle is Lord Hot Dog.
Well,
dude, I love it, man. It's hilarious. It's awesome.
Well, I will say that you and Tyler are talking and working out, possibly scheduled to be on Tundra Tactical's feed. Is that right?
Yes.
You got, okay. So you guys have got connected. I won't spoil it when it's going to be, but I will say that the crowd over there is not as tame as mine. Mine's my guys in the chat room. They're pretty cool and they're laid back and everything. But Tundra Tactical's feed is ridiculous.
That's awesome. Dude, hey, bring it on. I'm your Huckleberry, dude.
Yeah, there it is. Then Kayla just dropped in there. He's your Huckleberry. So I did want to say hi to Daniel. God's my judge. Good to see you. Haven't seen you in a little bit, so it's good to see you fishing around in the chat room. That's pretty cool. Keith. He's jumping in there, swinging by. He said, congratulations on the win this weekend. My Kansas State Wildcats, they upset the number 5 Oklahoma Sooners. So that is pretty awesome. If you guys are interested in college ball, I guess I'm not able to stay up on my football anymore with as much time as I spend at the range. So that's pretty good. I want to say hi to a few other people in here. I did see that Drew was fishing around and they're saying that his Sky has been to the range with, what did he say, 2,000 rounds and still sub MOA at 100 yards. So congratulations to you on that. Let's see. Got some love for the B&T in there.
Yeah.
He's saying the flexing on the B&T. That's pretty cool. Sorry guys, you guys have been really hammering the chat room, so it's hard for me to stay on top of that. Oh, there was one question, and I can't remember who asked it, but wanted to get your take on this. Do you think that the Chris Vector is overrated?
No.
I don't think so either. I think it's pretty freaking awesome.
I have run one. I know people who have them. I don't think it's overrated. It goes back to, are you proficient with your weapon system? There's nothing that's overrated. There's nothing that's underrated. So as long as you're proficient with your weapon system, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm pretty sure if I go out to the ring, all right, so this is what it boils down to, guys, and this is what the upper echelon of the gun community will not necessarily look highly upon. You can run a $200 weapon system as long as you practice with it and you're proficient with it. You can run that just as good as a $2,000 weapon system. But on that same note, you get what you pay for.
Mm-hmm.
That $200 weapon system will probably break down on you way sooner than a $2,000 weapon system. So that's the point of, like, the price differences, so to speak. So the Chris Vector, become proficient with it.
Mm-hmm. There is a place for it. I mean, you're not going to be able to take it out into the sands of Afghanistan and be able to, knock down a a thought at 250 yards, but
No, but it is butter. It is butter at 50 meters and in. And
yes,
guess
it
what?
is.
If you live in America, unless I don't know, dude, unless you're like in Fallout like mode, way out west, everything is going to be pretty much 50 meters and in. So the Chris Vector, like I said, I've shot one, I've run one. I think it's totally fine as long as you're proficient with it.
Yep. Yeah, I would agree with that. Drew jumped in there and he says the weapon is behind the gun, and I would agree with that. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So I did see that someone jumped in there. Oh yeah, Danger Noodle. He jumped in there and said that Daniel Defense is overrated, overpriced, and so I responded with, "Do you think that BCM is overrated?" And let's see, his response here is just their BCGs, both BCM and SLOGW. I don't know. Source micro best BCGs, but SLOGW holds better tolerances, and they're often cheaper. So that's something you got me there, Danger Noodle. I'm kind of lost on you on that one. So yeah. And then Art jumping in there and says that Triarch is crazy expensive. Yeah, they are.
Yeah, but I've run some Triarch. They're 2011s. I've run Nine Banger on Instagram. He runs the all the Triarch systems, their M-Lock stuff. So the one gun that he actually runs, I actually fired it first. It's kind of a joke between us, but it's butter. You get what you pay for, guys. Listen, you get what you pay for.
Yep.
You can work with a $500 weapon system, okay? All day long, you can work with that. But the higher chances of that weapon system malfunctioning is going to go up exponentially with like the price point. For layman's terms, the price point. So Triarch Systems is expensive, but I'm telling you what, if you have a Triarch Systems 2011 or one of their ARs and something goes wrong with it, guess what? Well, that's old school. You don't do that anymore. Hey, Triarch Systems, something's wrong with my gun. And you're going to get on there with one of their peoples, and they're going to be like, yo, we're going to fix all that. Boom, it's fixed. It's done. It's over with. Okay? And so that's essentially that's what you're paying for. The top quality companies out there, you're paying for customer service. You're paying for products. You're paying for, hey, if this weapon system goes down, you don't pay anything for it. You call them up and say, hey, my weapon system went down. They're going to take care of you and then get your weapon system back up running again. I don't know any of the top companies out there where there's been any issues with that. If there has been, like y'all need to like ding 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 ding, like ring the dinner bell and let everybody know. I don't know of any personally. I know like Daniel Defense, overpriced. Yeah, they got movie contract deals with Sicario and all that. I get it. Maybe overpriced. I'll give you that. I will give you overpriced. But Daniel Defense will run. They have the government contracts. They have the Mark 18s and all that jazz. It's not for no reason.
Yep. Yep. So that's a good point. That's a good point. Blitz jumped in with a super chat. He says, "Is the stash an homage to Minshew?"
Minshew magic. No. So I've been rocking the stash for about a year now. I did what everybody else does when they get out of the military. I hate shaving. I actually had a beard back in like 04 or 05, and everybody made fun of me and called me homeless back when beards weren't cool. So, you know, I did my time with that. I got out and I was like, dude, I don't want to shave no more. I grew the beard again. Then as a joke, I shaved my beard off except for my mustache, and I put on a cowboy hat. And literally it was like it blew up and everybody's like, keep the mustache, keep the mustache, keep the mustache. And so I've had the mustache for over a year now. And it just kind of came into its own and it worked out. And so that's kind of where the mustache came from.
So I totally got derped a little bit ago when I was reading Danger Noodle's little thing. the SOLGW is Sons of Liberty Gunworks, and that blew right by me. Just my bangs couldn't catch it at all. So, let's see. Oh, there's a good question. Art's asking, and kind of get your opinion here, and we'll probably wrap it up right after this because we're over an hour here. But which is more innovative, red dots on pistols or single stats picking up more rounds in them?
I would say single stacks with more rounds. Red dots are cool. Red dots are awesome. I personally took all the red dots off my pistols. So
interesting.
Yeah, they're great. They're really good. If you put a red dot on my pistol, actually helped me become a better shooter, more proficient with pistols. Because a red dot showed me that when I was shooting, if I pulled left to the right, that red dot would go to left or to the right. So when I pulled the trigger, and I was like, oh my God. And then I would pull back straight and that red dot wouldn't move.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't correlate into becoming a better shooter. It shows you what you're doing wrong. It's great. But I think the single stacks, having the ability to put more rounds in there, is more innovative in my opinion. So
yeah, I would agree with that. I would say personally, from my perspective, I think they're equal. You know, I've got a red dot on my my carry Glock 19, and I prefer it that way because it actually allows me to see more, which seems kind of odd, but your sights aren't covering up your target, right? So you got your sights, your target's a little bit obscured. With the red dot, it's up above of sights. You got your red dot, you can actually see a little bit more. It's personal preference, I think, at the end of the day. But the single stacks gaining more rounds, like the pistol that shall not be named, that's new to the market, and the SIG P365. That's my kind of gym carry. So yeah. I like the idea of having a subcompact or micro compact pistol that is going to be able to carry 10+1 or more. So
yeah.
So I mean, red dot is you could say that it's a training tool, but if you become proficient with it, learn it, understand it, it can be more than a tool.
Well, so this is my thing. This is my thing with the red dot, and this is why I took them off all my pistols. And I love red dots. Don't get me. No. I'm not against them.
Sure.
If you want them, I think that's awesome. But what I noticed with red dots is whether I had one on or not, if my fundamentals weren't correct, if my trigger squeeze wasn't correct, I would miss whether I had a red dot on or not. So if I'm extended prep and I had the rifle the pistol all the way out there, and if I didn't squeeze all the way back perfectly straight on the trigger and I jerked it to the left or the right, I would still miss. And so the red dot showed me that 100% more than what the iron sight showed me. But as far as correlating to actual application of me putting rounds on target, I wasn't shooting better with the red dot. I wasn't, shooting better with iron sights. It's as long as my fundamentals were there and I was practicing and I was doing what I was supposed to do, then I was hitting my target. So whether I had a red dot or not, it didn't matter for me personally. That's just me. That's not the entire, that's not everybody else. My dad, for example, my dad has bad vision in his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As he gets older, the vision in his eyes has gone down and he can't see clearly anymore. So he has to wear reading glasses and he has to wear a lot of glasses to help him focus a lot better. So what did he do? He put a Vortex red dot, the Vortex Viper, on his 1911.
Really?
Now,
interesting.
He goes to the range, ping, 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 ping. He hits. But, well, that's a totally another different story. You got to use the right rounds and with enough black powder in there, because if you don't have enough powder in there, the slide doesn't reset. And we found that out too, because it has the extra weight on the slide. So, dude, we were in Alaska and it's like pow, malfunction, pow, malfunction. And then because he had that extra weight on the slide and he didn't have enough charge in the rounds that we had, it wasn't cycling properly. But that's another story. But as far as the red dots go, I am definitely for them. I think they're awesome. They are innovative. But for me personally, I think the single stacks with the capability of having more ammunition in single stacks, I think that's more innovative. So because when it boils down, when you get down to the crux, when you get down to the meat and potatoes, it comes down to fundamentals. What's going to fail you?
You.
Technology will fail you every single time. Technology will always fail, dude. Your red dot will fail you.
Yep.
If you do not, if that is not in your head, then you need to do research. Technology will fail you. And when technology fails you, what do you have left? Your fundamentals, dude.
That's right. Yep. You revert back to your training, right?
Yeah.
And I know that this is going to kind of go on to a little bit of a side note, but back earlier this year when I was training for my first amateur fight, I didn't quite understand why my trainer was always concerned about, hey, look, all we're going to do is 1, 2, 3. So jab, cross, hook. That's all we're going to do. Freaking jab, cross, hook, jab, cross, hook. That's all we're going to train on. And I didn't understand why. And I was like, why? Why aren't we going to work on some uppercuts or whatever else? And he's like, because when you get into the ring and someone punches you the first time, the only thing you're going to remember is jab, cross, hook, and at the end of the day, it really didn't matter anyway, but yeah, you're going to revert back to your training once technology fails you. So, and
I think they have somebody did. I mean, I could do it. Anybody could do it. They have a video out there of a guy running his pistol, and he doesn't have iron sights or anything on there. And he's continuously hitting the target because he's had a lot of training. So, that just furthers my point of, it comes down to the basics. So
Yep. So everything that is mechanically inclined, whether it be electronic or physically mechanical, is going to fail at some point. I've heard a lot of people talk about how revolvers never fail, and I was like, nope. Yeah, they do. They will fail. So The last question that I have for you, this is my question. It's one that I ask a lot of different guests. I haven't done it in a while because it's kind of lost its luster a little bit. But who wins in a fight, Frank Castle or John Wick?
I would say that. All right, let's say that they go at each other, right? So John Wick wears his two-piece suit, and I guess it's bulletproof, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So, and then of course, Frank Castle has his Punisher body armor, right? So, I would say that they would get to the point where they would both run out of ammunition, and then it would be a fist fight. So, initially, I was going to say the Punisher would win because that dude takes a beating and he keeps on going no matter what.
Yep.
But I just watched, well, I didn't just watch, but the current Wick movie, it's the same thing. The dude's he's sitting there, well, I don't want to ruin anything if you haven't watched it.
There's a pretty epic knife fight scene.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
He's working on dudes, and he's getting his ass kicked, and he just keeps on going. So, as of right now, 2019, right? It's October, almost Halloween. All right, October 2019, the battle of Frank Castle and John Wick goes to John Wick.
Okay. All right. So I was going to throw in the crazy from Frank. I think the crazy prevails, Okay. I don't know. That's just me. Cause he's got a couple nuts loose up there, and
oh yeah.
So I think
but in like 10 or 20 years. So obviously I'm also going off of Keanu Reeves is the new Chuck Norris.
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest. Keanu Reeves he's a great dude. I mean, everybody's seen his pictures where he's got the beautiful women on both arms and his hands. He's like no hands Keanu, dude.
Yeah,
like,
he's no hands Keanu.
Because he's such a gentleman. Everybody's seen the Terran Tactical stuff. So, and Keanu is, I think he's a legitimate, humble dude, genuine, which is very rare for Hollywood. Johnny Bernthal, on the Punisher side, seems to be the same way.
Mm-hmm.
He's a legit dude. He was a boxer back in the day.
Yep.
Grew up on the streets, hard-nosed dude. So, but Keanu Reeves has that, what's the word I'm looking for? He's already, I don't want to say established.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
He's already done his time.
Yeah.
So he's the Chuck Norris of today.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
So, and then Johnny Bernthal may, in like 10 years, he may overtake that. And I like both those dudes. And as far as a movie character-wise, I'm going to go with John Wick because the dude in the last John Wick movie, he literally gets his ass kicked the whole movie, and he keeps going. And so, yeah. So I'm gonna say John Wick.
Right. Andrew jumping in there, he says, "Utah, get me too."
Yeah. Oh, I don't even. I want to go like the Point Break references. Hey, it'll be like, yeah, dude, definitely.
I did want to say hi to Johnny. He jumped in there, 180-second ideas, giving us the woo from Ric Flair. So hopefully we'll get a new gun drama Johnny here pretty soon, or I guess it's Hill Person Johnny currently. So we'll see how that goes here. If he's got an episode, that'd be cool. Drop it like it's Scott. He's jumping in there. He says he loves the Matrix references too when it comes to good old Kiana. So
Yeah, you can't like you just his body of work, dude. So you in the Matrix, you know that Keanu gave a lot of the money that he received from the movie because I don't think that they expected the movie to do as good as it did. A lot of the money that he got, he gave to the actual, um, not producers, but like the little guys in the movie
Mm,
that did all like the background work. He gave a ton of his money away to those guys.
that's cool. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
There's a video floating around on YouTube of Keanu Reeves doing just like normal dude stuff, like sitting on the train, and he gets up and gives his seat to somebody, and
yep,
just good, honest,
yeah.
good
And
person type of stuff.
he doesn't want if if you guys go to Terran Tactical, they get beat up a lot too. I don't know why.
I do.
Because like the owner has pretty girls who can literally outshoot 98% of the people in the gun community. They outshoot me. Like, who cares, dude? Cool. Like, you're pretty and you can outshoot me. I mean, 2 thumbs up. I think that's awesome.
Well, he did have an issue where he hired one of these pretty girls that came
I
out.
remember that. I know what you're talking about.
So
Yeah.
for you guys,
He didn't vet her. Yeah.
yeah. So if you guys didn't know, it was it NRAM last year. It was either NRAM or yeah, it was an NRA annual meeting. He hired a female to be a part of his entourage. I don't know if she's part of the shooting sport world or not, but she got bamboozled by a reporter and was asked if people should have AR-15s, and she's like, "No, people shouldn't have AR-15s," and the gun community just had a meltdown when it came to
Yeah.
pterodactyl. So
Yeah. And that's like beat him up for that. Like, you didn't vet it, you didn't do it properly. That's totally fine. Like I get all that, but he has Keanu on his Instagram and I guess Facebook. I'm not big on Facebook, but and so dude, if you go on there and you watch you watch the videos of Keanu. Oh my god, dude, it's like watching like puppies play in the front lawn. It's it's so heartwarming because somebody with that success and that fame, he will go through and he will do a shooting drill, and then after he gets done, he's like, I messed up on that part.
yep.
Like,
Hmm.
I could have done better on that. And he
Yeah.
dude so humble. And to see somebody of his stature act like the way he does, it's refreshing. Honestly, it's refreshing. It's
The
really cool, and I like seeing that.
the video that I saw of Keanu shooting, I think he was shooting with oh shoot, what's her name? She played Catwoman, and she was in John Wick. Halle Berry, yeah. He ended up like shooting a second faster in this iteration that he was doing, and he stopped, and everyone is like, "Oh my gosh, you were a second faster!" And he was just like, "Yeah, but I missed the headshot on that one target over there," and you can see the drive to do better. He's done a documentary about his fight training and how they just beat him down physically, and he's just like, I got to do better, I can do better, and it's amazing, his work ethic. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Student of life, yeah, that's a good way. That is good. No one to talk to. Yeah, definitely. So right, I think we need to go ahead and start wrapping things up. We've gone a little bit later than I would have planned to. I'd like to keep these at an hour, but we I think the first time we talked on the phone, we were on the phone for like 2.5 hours, right?
Yeah, dude, we kept going and going and going.
Yeah. So
It's you get the same mind, and then you want to talk, and then it's like you want to get everything, all of both of your knowledge and my knowledge that we've uh, 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 um, learned in the past 30 years, and we want to condense that down. And so it's like you try to get all that in there. But yeah, dude.
So Art's jumping in there. I have 2 links in the description of where they can find you, but if people don't want to take the time to look for it, where can they find you on the social medias?
So I have my Instagram where I'm not gonna say I primarily operate out of because I'm changing that now. But where I used to primarily operate out of is Instagram, and it is Doc Hollywood _actual. So that is my Instagram. I am doing the Show and Tuck YouTube reviews. And so it's Show and Tuck. It should come up now. It used to not come up for some reason. I guess because we're new.
Yeah.
But now it comes up. And then my partner is Coach Tuck _22. So
Coach Tuck's pretty funny dude too, man.
yeah.
I mean, the newest video you guys just dropped what, yesterday on the Sam 7?
Like 2 days ago.
Yeah. Without hesitation, he just looks at you and he's like, pull my finger. I'm just like, oh my God. And it just rolls. You guys just roll right with each other, man.
We're thinking about doing a bloopers reel of that, and I was just like, I put half the bloopers in that video because I was like, it's too gold.
Right on. So we're going to say goodnight. Blitz, that's a good comment, and it may be coming sooner than you think. I'm sure that Doc and Tundra is just got to work out their schedules, and you should see him on Tundra Tactical's live chat here soon. So with that, Shepard jumping in there and saying, thank you, sir. Thank you too, Doc. Good fun chat. Thanks, guys. Appreciate that. And we're going to go ahead and wrap up everything. I appreciate everyone who has joined in the chat. You guys were just going way too fast for me to keep up, but I do appreciate it. And Dan Booker, congratulations to you on the giveaway. I will get this in the mail, and I'll send you an email here in just a second to get your address. So appreciate that. As we say always, man, thank you. I can't say thank you enough because you guys are the lifeblood of this channel and supporting everything that we do. I've got some pretty cool projects coming up that I've been reaching out to Doc for on getting his creativity and his input on. So we'll see that here in a bit. But we will say goodnight to you. Thank you so much. And as always, keep calm and carry. See you guys later. Have a great week. Bye, y'all.